Welcome back to another episode of Michigan Smash Storytime. I think it's been about 2 months. It's been a minute, but we have this month to wrap up. Actually, we had a pretty big month of May. There were 300 tournament or
3
300
triple-digit tournaments. We had 3 digits in attendees. Actually 4 if you count the bar tournament.
Oh, which you should count.
Yeah, and so Michigan's been popping. We had the Arcadian. Congrats to I4N for winning.
Yes.
Sweet 28, where we had Armada and Android come out. We had the bar tournament,
which also had Armada and Android.
Yeah, and that was awesome. The next one's coming up soon. It's in 2 weeks.
Okay, nice.
Featuring West Falls.
Let's go.
And we had Downfall.
Nice.
And so we had Miggy's first Saturday tournament.
And that went really well. So congrats to him.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, okay. So, but it is summer.
So as we used to do, or as we did in 2014 and 2015, we're going to be having a summer circuit. So Ian has already announced this. You may have already seen it. But what kind of happens is we'll have like a tournament at a bunch of different cities all across Michigan, Muskegon, all other stuff. Right.
The idea is to promote local scenes by incentivizing the best players to go travel to their events.
Yep.
And many of the TOs in Michigan will assist smaller TOs and help them run their events as well. And we're still putting it together. So far, we only have really the opener,
which is Corner Pressure.
Oh yeah, Corner Pressure. Speaking of I4N. And that's going to be an awesome event. I went to Corner Pressure 4, which was a great event. They had pools and doubles and a nice stream and everything. Their venue is spacious, and it's in a mall, so you can get good food, and it's not too expensive. Highly recommend it if you're looking for a tournament this next weekend.
Yep, and there will be some sort of a point system inside the circuit too. We're kind of hammering out how everything will work, but there will be some sort of a point system that will have some sort of incentive to it.
Right.
That's kind of the circuit.
If you are a high-level player, we encourage you to come out and start getting your points, because if you travel to many of the majors that are happening this summer, you may miss out on those opportunities as well. So it's good to get ahead. And yeah, there will be a finale. We don't know exactly how that's going to work either. Details on that to be announced.
It'll be cool.
A lot of planning is going into that one, so I'm excited.
Yep, so that's a summer circuit. And then also we have a tournament that we want to tell you guys about. It was something that I didn't really even know too much about until earlier today. The tournament's name is Saints Gaming Live, and you want to talk a little bit about it, like where it is?
Yeah, not enough people talk or know about what's going on with this tournament. Like, it's a super cool tournament. It's happening. It's being run by Sean Byrne. He runs EGE in Windsor, Ontario, which is about, it's 5 minutes over the border from Detroit.
Directly across the Detroit River.
Yeah. If you're in East Michigan, it's closer than going to the west side.
Way closer.
And so it's being run by this university called St. Clair College. They are launching their esports program, and they're looking for players to give scholarships. So if you are a young player, maybe looking at universities, cough, but
I'm not saying you have to go there to play Melee, but maybe.
But yeah. And you should still check it out. It's going to be a great event. One of the reasons we're taking the time to talk about it at length in this video is because people don't appreciate what Canada offers at a scene. I've been talking a lot with Tio Joe, the head of the GOML tournament in Toronto. And
Which is in late July, you said? Something like that.
Last weekend in July. And we're collaborating to really bridge the gap between Michigan and Canada, because
especially Ontario.
Even though we have all these other scenes, because of the nature of the lakes, it's really hard. And Canada's a great resource too, because they have a really nice scene that's really well developed and growing very quickly, and their players are improving very fast.
They have some really good high-level players. I'm sure you guys know.
Yeah, Kirby Kaze and Ryan Ford are all great at talking about the game. But more importantly, it's just one of the coolest things about Canada, if you're in Michigan, is that one, you don't have to spend a ton of money to get a passport. More on that. And because of the conversion rates, everything is actually cheaper, except for
booze.
Yeah, booze. That's it.
Which you can't do if you're. Well, wait, what? The drinking age is different in Canada, though, right?
The drinking age is 19.
So you can't do. Oh yeah, so there you go. There's another reason.
Of you in that limbo age, but. More importantly, what that means is that all your food is going to be cheaper. Oh, gas is more expensive, I think.
Oh, okay, that also makes sense.
So you make sure you fill up while you're in Michigan. But, so let's talk about Saints Gaming Live. Okay, this event is happening the weekend after this one. Yep. It is featuring players like Hungry Box,
Mute King,
West Balls, Professor Pro.
None will also be there.
Yep. And then, of course, Brian Ford.
Yeah.
And then, the Michigan Masters, KGH and Ginger as well. And
is Duck going to be there?
Yeah, Duck will be there.
Okay.
And
shout out to Omar.
And so with all these players going on, it's a 2-day, and it's all actually very, very affordable, which is what's cool about it. And here's why. So let's talk about if you're entering. Let's break it down.
So if you're going to enter singles and doubles, how much would it cost? In Canadian dollars first. We'll convert.
Well, okay. So explain the conversion. Every Canadian dollar, or no, every U.S. dollar, no.
Every 4 Canadian dollars is equal to 3 U.S. dollars.
Thank you.
That's the best way to say it.
Yeah, and so what that translates to roughly is if you're entering Melee singles and doubles, you might be alarmed to see that it says $60 when you put it all together. But that's Canadian. What that actually is $45 in U.S. dollars.
Which is a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Right? It's like a substantial amount.
$15.
Now,
that's pretty good. If
you only want to enter Melee singles, it's 50 Canadian dollars. That's 37.5 U.S. dollars.
Not bad at all.
Mm-hmm. And then if
for a 2-day, remember 2-day tournament.
2 days, exactly. And then if you want to go spectate, and play friendlies, that pass is 20 Canadian dollars.
$15.
Mm-hmm. 15 U.S. dollars. And at that kind of a value, it's kind of hard to pass up, which will help you make the decision on if you need a passport
or an enhanced driver's license. Which, so as you all know, passports, they let you go all around the world and stuff. They get them stamped, all that good stuff. They're kind of expensive and kind of hard to get. But there's also this thing you can get called an enhanced driver's license, which it essentially lets you go to the places in North America, Canada and Mexico being the main ones, but some of the Caribbean as well. And what you have to do, I have it written up over here, so be looking at it. What you have to do is you have to go down to your Secretary of State office, the same place you get the driver's license. You got to bring Social Security card, proof of citizenship, that could be a birth certificate. So you get born in America, you're a citizen, and a photo ID. You bring those down. You also bring down $45. They'll give you this thing called an enhanced driver's license that essentially lets you go to Canada and Mexico no problem. So that's really what it is.
Okay.
It's a good way to, like, obviously you want a passport if you want to go to Europe or whatever. It's more long term in your life. But just for something like this tournament, maybe going to GAML as well, like an enhanced driver's license is a great way to start.
Yeah, it's a good investment.
I might get one as well. I need
How long does it last?
That's something that I couldn't find out, so that makes me think that it lasts
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years would make sense.
At least. Well, how frequently do you need a new license?
You need a new driver's license every 5 years, to my understanding. Yeah, so something like that. Oh, because you do get a new picture taken too, so it probably is 5 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it probably lasts
That's pretty good.
That sounds like a pretty good investment. So overall, if you wanted to go Melee singles and doubles, and you wanted to get your enhanced driver's license, $90 total is probably what you would pay, or we would pay way less to go to a major.
Well, especially say you're 19, you live in the east side of the state. Like you might want to go to Canada sometimes too. You want to drink or whatever. Like so, it's for the future too. Like it's not just this tournament, and also the housing there is really cool, right? You want to talk about that?
So the housing is not actually hotels. It's also cheap because it's dorm suites from St. Clair College. What you get is for 100 Canadian dollars a night.
So 75 US dollars
per night. You receive an entire suite, which contains 2 bedrooms. Each bedroom has a full-size bed. Now, most hotels are queen-size beds, so it's a little snug.
Yeah, so a little bit smaller.
Keep that in mind.
You can still fit 2 people in it.
And there's also a little mini lounge area where you can cook and stuff as well. I'm not sure on the exact dimensions, but you might even be able to fit a small, blow-up mattress. And the reason this may be appealing to some people, especially on the west side of the state, is if you want to stay that one night in between the two, and you get 3, 4, 5 people in a room, it feels really, really affordable. $15.
When you said there's something about cooking, do you know if it's like a full kitchen, or could you bring like food to cook too?
I don't know if there's a refrigerator. I do believe there's I think there's a stove.
All right,
but yeah, that info can all be found on the Saints Gaming Live Smash GG page in the housing section. So, I guess we should mention that. The link is smash.gg/SGL2017.
So pretty easy. Saints Gaming Live 2017, but just SGL.
And since this is story time, I guess we should tell a story. I like telling this particular story.
This is a story when Duck went to Canada, right? And
well, they for those who don't know, they call Duck the Canada Slayer in Canada because they have trouble beating him.
He has like an even record with Kirby Kaze Lifetime, which Sheik Samus. Like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and recently actually he gave Kirby has a really hard time, double eliminating him in 3-0.
Oh, he's probably ahead lifetime now. Let's go.
And Ryan Ford has been switching to Sheik for some recently, so it's been a rough time for the Canadians. Luckily, none has been avoiding the cold in Nicaragua.
Yeah.
So this is the story of EGLX, and I like telling it to people who get wrapped up in their placings. And it was funny because at this tournament, Duck famously tweeted afterwards. He said, "I got 5th at EGLX, beating Westballs and Leffen," which was followed by a more famous tweet by Mac D, which went, "I got 4th at EGLX, beating Duck and Duck."
Which, some of that was because Armada dropped out, so that's a little abnormal. But it gets you the idea that, like, placing 4th, like, that doesn't mean that Mac D's performance was better than Duck's. Like, beating Leffen's a huge deal. Exactly. Yeah. That's why in PRs people will total up, like, who you beat and who you lost to, not a bunch of series of placings. Right. So just FYI.
But yeah, I think that wraps up Storytime for this week. Hopefully we'll be back with one soon.
Yeah, for sure. Look for more details in the summer circuit. Go to Corner Pressure and save the game live.
All right. Have a good one, guys.